It is Joe Mazzulla. He's brought to you by East Coast Metal Roofing, the official roofing partner of the Boston Celtics. Their roofs are guaranteed for life and available in all sizes and colors, including green. Mention 98.5 The Sports Hub and get 10% off your entire roof installation. Visit eastcoastmetalroofing.com. Joe, what's up?
What's up, fellas? How you doing?
Good, Joe. We're doing well. How disappointed were you when you got that 2-minute report at 4 p.m. yesterday and it didn't go your way?
I guess it's a good opportunity to kind of learn that things aren't always going to go your way, you know?
When it doesn't go your way with the referees, do you feel like you or your players are spending too much time being concerned with the referees?
I don't know if we're spending too much time, and I do think there is a time and a place to where you have to address it, whether it's in the game. I think as we continue to just learn and grow as a team, I think the most important thing is picking, choosing your spots, right? I do think having a relationship with them is important. I think standing up for your case is important. It's just you have to recognize time and score, and you don't necessarily want to do it in a situation to where it's going to put your team at a disadvantage. But I think it's more about picking and choosing your spots.
Joe, I'm curious. It's good to talk to you, buddy. It's Ted, and I'm curious about that in particular. Just the calls, the referees, that part of the game. I mean, do you talk to those guys? Obviously about that stuff. I'm guessing after games, and how do you handle that? Because part of you's upset that you're getting the calls not going your way, and then part of you probably doesn't want to feed into that, and have your players be consumed with that as well. Is that how do you balance the two when you're talking to your players about it?
Yeah, I think you have to acknowledge both, right? I think there's obviously, that's kind of how the league is, to where the relationship with the referees is an ongoing give and take. It's been like that for years. And so I think it's necessary. Like I said, I think you have to do both. Like, it's necessary to stand up for your team, stand up for the cause, give yourself a chance to explain yourself. I just think at the end of the day, the biggest goal in mind is winning, is trying to win a championship, and just trying to make sure more decisions than not put us in an advantageous situation and not a disadvantage. I guess since you're on, Ted, I guess my question is, how did you guys handle it as players in the NFL?
But Belichick, he didn't have time for any of us worrying about it. Keep your mouth shut. Don't worry about it. Very, very different environment, I would say, than your game. But it was basically conveyed to us, keep your mouth shut and let me, that being Bill, handle that stuff. That's how it was handled. Yeah. No surprise.
And I do think our guys, for the most part, have gotten better at that. And I agree with you. It's a different environment, different games, different atmosphere. I think it's just constantly. What do you got?
I was just going to say, I didn't mean to interrupt, Joe, but I would just say it's the relationship players in the NFL is so dissimilar to, I think, relationship players in the NBA have with officials and coaches. We don't interact with them. There's, during timeouts, guys aren't talking to officials, where I feel like it's just different. You guys see each other so much and are in close proximity all the time that the relationship between player and official is so different in the NBA than it is in the NFL.
It is, and I think it's constantly growing and constantly changing, and there's just so much at stake, and so I think you just can't expect it to go well all the time. Like, I don't think we should go into the relationship that we're going to like each other, everyone, but I think we have respect for the job. We understand that it's difficult, but there's times where you got to stand up for your players, stand up for your team. I think the theme, the most important principle is more decisions we make towards winning and towards what's best for the team, and try to decrease the decisions of how things are affecting us at times. So I think last game was really interesting, and you watch that tape again, and it's like we learned so much. And this is about the fifth or sixth game where it's been like a playoff atmosphere, and sometimes it's gone well for us, and sometimes it hasn't. But I think at the end of the day, it's exposing opportunities for us to really learn as a team.
Hey, Coach, one thing I've noticed an improvement on this year is how the team has played in non-Tatum minutes. So the games that he hasn't played, was that an emphasis that you had this offseason? Was the team playing better without Tatum on the court to give him time off? And obviously we saw what happened in Game 7 in the playoffs last year, but was that something you emphasized this season?
We didn't necessarily emphasize it this offseason. I think we've just done a better job of having different lineups and giving those different lineups different identities. And so I think it's threefold. I think it's the growth of Derek White. I think it's the addition of Jrue Holiday. I think Jalen's growth as a playmaker on both ends of the floor. I think he's just really growing as a player to where when the ball's in his hands, multiple things can happen, and he's taking ownership of his lineups. And then I think our bench. We got one of the best benches in the NBA. Peyton and Sam and Al and Luke and and the rest of our guys, they've done a tremendous job at just developing an identity of this is who we are on defense and this is what our lineups look like. And so I think it's the growth of our entire team and roster that has helped all of those minutes.
Joe, there's a great video of a practice that happened in December that NBC Sports Boston has shown, and it's a few minutes long, but as part of that, you're mic'd up in it, and you told Jrue Holiday, you have to be the quarterback of everything we do defensively. Talk about him defensively this year. Is he growing? Is he continuing to improve? What about all the decision-making that sort of goes into how important he is to your team's defense?
Yeah, I compare it to when we traded for Derek a few years ago. We play such a unique defense to where there's a lot of rules, but there's also a lot of gray area, and there's a lot of opportunity for defensive freedom and playmaking. A lot of if-then scenarios, so to speak. And so when Derek first got here, he was always known as a really good defender in one area. I can't remember if it was like pick-and-roll defense or like off-ball defense connecting to shooters. And, he came in and we watched a lot of film, and, we were able to mirror the two, use his defensive strengths and make him great at our system. And I think that's also where Jrue is like you have a guy that has been one of the best defenders in the league for so long, and you want to take advantage of his strengths, but we also have a defensive system that's been good for some time, and we want to leverage those strengths. So at the end of the day, it's like, hey, we can't put you in a box, but we need you to be able to be open-minded towards the different situations that we're going to put you in, and then we want you to be you when you're in those.
Other coaches that have coached Jrue Holiday over the years have always spoken highly of him in terms of his ability and sort of, thought process and all that. Has it been fun? Has it been great to coach him this year?
It's been amazing. One thing I've been grateful for in my super long tenure as a head coach in the NBA is, the character of guys that I've been around. And, I made a statement before that, like, what we're learning about as a team is I can't be the best coach if my players don't empower me and trust and buy in and understand where I'm coming from. And they can't be great if they don't let me push them, and they can't be great if they don't push each other. And I think from day one, our whole team's been like that. And I think Jrue has been very open-minded I've been a great player in this league. I've come to this team. How can I be myself, and how can I make it work? And quite frankly, I think, we'll see even more from him. And, we need him to be his best self in order for us to maximize our team.
Hey, Coach, it was just announced that Netflix is creating an NBA documentary modeled after the quarterback show. Jason Tatum will be one of the 5 players that are chosen. Do you know anything about this? Are you a part of this as well?
I'm not. I have no idea about it, but it'll be fun to watch.
Okay, LeBron James will be on it, along with Jimmy Butler, Anthony Edwards, and Domantas Sabonis as well. So Jason Tatum will be one of the 5 on that new Netflix series.
I think that's a great. I actually haven't watched the quarterback. I haven't watched that series yet.
Pretty good.
But I think it's a great concept. But I'm looking forward to that. I'll definitely take a look at it.
Yeah, you're going to see a camera guy running around your locker room any minute now, following every Tatum move as they film that.
That's awesome.
Hey, any update
That's pretty incriminating on my part.
Hey, is there any update on Minnesota? I know they had some travel issues with the weather. Have you gotten an update? Are they going to be there on time for the game tonight?
It's the first time hearing of it. Did they?
I guess they had a little bit of a problem getting in last night.
They don't make it; they forfeit. So you'll be there for the game.
I haven't heard that one.
I
haven't heard that.
I'm in the know, Joe. I heard there might have been some issues last night.
I tried not to be in the know.
All right. All right. Well, Joe, good talking to you. Hope your week is going well. Outside of
Hey, we got to follow up with a better show than this, guys. That was way too serious. So we got to work on this.
That's not our regular crew in here today. Getting down to the brass tacks, doing the sports thing.
Hey, Joe, are you a Dell's guy? I know you're a Rhode Island guy. Do you like a Dell's lemonade? Is that one of your favorites?
Oh yeah, Dell's used to be. That used to be the place to go. There was one right near Johnston Parks and Recreation where my dad worked. We used to go there all the time. I used to shake people down for like 75 cents to $1 to get a mixed flavor.
This is what would be a show: Joe Murray and Joe Mazzulla talking food.
Let's
That's
do it, Joe.
That's it. Just talking food.
I'm on post game every night if you want to call in, my man.
Just talk food.
I think I used to go half watermelon, half
There
lemonade.
you go.
That's a good one.
We can call that the
Yeah,
Mazzulla.
I wonder what the prices are nowadays.
I don't know. You know what? I might know a guy. See if we
Definitely
can help
more
you
than
out
$1. I'll tell you that.
What about coffee milk?
I don't know what that is. What is it?
You don't know what coffee milk is?
No, Never heard of it.
Oh, big Rhode
Oh
Island
man,
thing.
come on.
Seriously? Joe Murray doesn't know that?
Yeah, I guess I got to make a trip out there.
Oh, okay. Well,
I mean, there's nothing better than I haven't had it in years, but there's nothing better than a glass of coffee milk.
All right.
I guess I got to do a tour of Rhode Island.
Yeah,
Maybe
we're
we
going to
could
get
do
Joe down
that.
way. All right, Joe. Appreciate your time as always.
All right, fellas.
See you,
later.
Joe Mazzulla, Celtics head coach.